Anthony Edwards taking on the San Antonio Spurs. And some good news, though, coming out of San Antonio. Anthony Edwards reportedly planning to play tonight for the first time in 9 days. Remember, in Game 4, he suffered a bone bruise in his knee.
Hey, man. Bo. Hey.
He's only going to give you a tank top and shades and a hat.
That man got to get fined
Atlanta
on it. This is a playoff, bro. Nah.
That's what you wanted?
Yeah, this is playoffs.
You want him a tie? What you want him to wear?
You gotta look better than that, man. He look like he's going down to the corner store, man.
Basketball.
It's just basketball. They say you're not supposed to change when you get to the playoffs. That's what they said. Guys, I want to start this show with the news that we came off the top with, which was Jamahl Mosley being fired. And remember, guys, we actually had this conversation last night.
A couple hours ago.
Yeah, during our post-show. You're taking a look at the Orlando Magic over the course of the last 3 seasons. Now, Jamahl Mosley, he did lead them to 3 consecutive postseason appearances, also 2 division titles, a couple of winning seasons. And it's so interesting to think about. He's had to deal with a litany of injuries. We actually did the math, and his 2 stars, Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner, only able to play together about 41% of the time, less than half of the time. And they still were able to find some wins, but the decision has been made. What do you make of it?
Well, obviously, I'm not happy about it. I thought Mo was the right guy for the job. I felt like he and Paolo, based off of what I seen in the playoffs, it seemed like they got on the same page. Paolo showed some growth in that playoffs. But, you know, that Game 6, I think, is what became the detriment to his job. And when you lose a 24-point game, when you had an opportunity to close out the #1 seed and to make history, I think that has something to do with it, because that was a very, very tough loss for the organization. And, you know, we heard the riffles of, the best player and the coach wasn't on the same page in the regular season. And just a lot of that coming out of, Orlando. Moving forward, I hope they make the right coaching selection, but they got to get some better talent in there. I don't care what coach they bring in. The talent has to become better.
I agree with you, man. And my take on this is you got them back. You got them to 3 consecutive playoffs. You signed him, right? Coach Mosley got a contract. You just signed him, I think, the 24. You have him signed through 27, 28, so I think a couple more years on the contract. That's one issue. Paolo comes out in 2 closeout games, have 45 in Game 5, 38 in Game 7. Franz Wagner gets hurt. Yeah. And then you look to everybody else. To me, this is not a coach's situation. You can say it is. Do I think this was the straw that broke the camel's back? Yes, I think this has been brewing all season long. Whoever comes in here have to have a real conversation with Paolo. Listen, I'm here to win. The time is ticking. We ain't got time to be patient anymore in Orlando. Let's get to work. What do we have to do to win? Paolo, I think he's going to take another leap, especially after this. He's going to have new energy in there. He's going to have a new coach in there. He's going to have a new situation. Now, what he does with that, and also what the front office is going to do, because it's not about Paolo. He showed that he's a young star. Franz showed that he's a young star. Everybody else. So whoever comes in here, they got to fix that roster right away.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. It must fix the roster, but the coach that comes in, I don't want to use the word bow down to Paolo, but the next coach that comes in needs to challenge Paolo, to take him to that next level. Not to where he feels like he's the dictator, but he can help him get to the next level. And I think that conversation is most important. And I like the 1-2 punch of Paolo and Franz, but I agree. They need shooting. They need to upgrade the roster to complement those 2 young stars, particularly Paolo, because I think he showed us a lot. Yeah, absolutely.
Like you said, Game 5, he had the 45. Game 6, he played great in the first half and just disappeared in the second half, but responded. Yeah. And that's growth, because easily for a young guy who's hearing all the whispers with everything going on behind the scenes can just easily pack it in. He did not. He brought it. He brought his lunch pail, and he was ready to go, but they didn't get it done. I think this is unfortunate, because I think Jamahl Mosley, like you said, has been great for them.
Yeah, especially developing those guys.
Sure. He created basically an expectation, because if you just look back kind of the history of the Magic, they hadn't been to 3 consecutive postseasons since Stan Van Gundy was doing it from like 07, 2012. So that was 11 seasons where they were just struggling to find some consistency. So he built it. He built the expectation, and ultimately that becomes part of the reason maybe that the Magic feel they have to move in.
And lastly, I want to say, I got the opportunity to call games for the Magic a few years ago. And the one thing I noticed and I enjoyed was how Jamahl demanded from the young talent, even though they didn't like it sometimes. You know when things go bad, but you go to a player and they look you in the eye. I felt that was the case. They respected him and his voice. Maybe his voice started to kind of, just go in one ear, out the other, but at the same time, he still came to work and demanded from those guys. And that's what I noticed from, the time I was calling games with them to up until last night. He still coached. He still got in those guys' face, regardless if they liked it or not. That's what young guys need. You need a coach that's not going back there saying whatever. He's going to hold you accountable.
Well, that's the only coach that Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero have ever known. He came in with Franz, and then Paolo was drafted in the next year. The question is, then what do they need? Is it an offensive-minded coach? Is it a young coach? Like, if you are working for the Magic, what is the type of coach you're bringing in?
You had a good one.
You just don't have the pieces, though. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have the pieces.
Not so much the coach. It's the pieces, man.
It's the pieces that you have.
Because I'm sure the coach that you are going to select is going to be a coach that, will exactly know what he wants out of the team and knows how to coach, because you're not going to make a mistake of, hiring an inexperienced coach.
Particularly if you just gave Mosley that money, too.
So your next coach has to be a veteran coach that really knows the game of basketball and knows how to get the best out of his players. And I don't know who that is out there. I'm hearing Tom Thibodeau. I would love Tom Thibodeau. I would love Tibbs down there because he would challenge them. But Tibbs, you got to let up on. We got to go deep into the roster.
They got Billy Donovan.
Billy Donovan's out there.
And Sam Cassell. Sam Cassell should get a look.
There's some good options out there, but upgrade the roster.
Okay, all right. Well, Jamahl Mosley officially out at Orlando. He was the 7th coach to hold down that fort since Stan Van Gundy. So over the last 11 seasons, been really trying to put it together in Orlando. All right, we had some other news around the NBA today. The Dallas Mavericks announced the hiring of Masai Ujiri as their team president. Now, Ujiri has 15 years of experience as a lead executive in the NBA, most recently spending 12 seasons leading Toronto from 2013 to 2025. And in that time, the team made the playoffs 8 times and won the franchise's only NBA title in 2019. He's going to replace Nico Harrison, who was fired in November, as we all know, amid the team's slow start in their first season after trading Luka Doncic to the Lakers. All right, let's turn our attention back to the playoffs. The second round begins tonight with a pair of game 1s, and then later tonight here on Peacock, you're going to, on NBCSN, we're going to see the Timberwolves and the Spurs. We'll wait to see if Ant-Man is going to go. First on NBC, you get the Knicks, you get the 76ers. The rookie, though, VJ Edgecom, he spoke with Ashley Shamady a little bit earlier today at Shoot Around. Take a listen.
All right, VJ, you guys had a battle in Game 7 to get to this point, but now you've got a fresh start. How do you take that same mentality that you finished that series off with to set the tone to start this one?
We know it's a must-win. To be honest, every game from here on out is must-win for us. And I say we just got to stay connected, stay disciplined through it all. Say we play against a really good team, and they expect a dogfight.
Talking about that really good team, before this series even starts, what do you think it's going to be about to compete with this Knicks team?
I got to be physical. You got to be physical. You got to be well-disciplined. You got to be sound. I think that's what it's going to be for sure. Like I say, really good team, so we're going to face a lot of adversity throughout the series, so we just got to weather the storm.
You've already had your fair share of memorable moments as a rookie, VJ, and you have contributed, you have rose up to the challenge. What has this experience been like as a rookie, and just you being able to contribute at such a high level?
It's been great. It's been great, I'm going to be honest. I've been enjoying it. Obviously, rookie year still going on right now, and I'm happy. I mean, obviously, I'm happy to be a rookie also. I love being a rookie on this team. You get a little, they treat you a little better. But overall, man, it's been great. Like I said, I'm enjoying it. I have great vets around me that's helping me, so yeah.
A year for the books, that's for sure, and it keeps going tonight. Best of luck. Thank you so much, VJ.
Thank you.
DJ is living his best life.
Yes,
You
he is.
gotta love the rookie year, okay? He's just feeling good, happy to play ball. Mikal Bridges, he did get it together in Game 6 against the Hawks, okay? 24 of the second round in the West going down tonight, too. Victor Wembanyama making his postseason debut this year, and he had a great first round, averaging 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Anthony Edwards, look at him. He's warming up, reportedly expected to play tonight. Suffered a bone bruise in Game 4 against the Nuggets. We have not seen him then, but it's great to see him warming up, getting a little sweat in before the game. Meanwhile, Paul George, he is in his 16th season, and he's here with the 76ers. He's shooting at 55% from 3, a big part of the reason why the Sixers are here in the second round and were able to upset the Celtics. And speaking of that, how about this? The 76ers are now 4 wins away from reaching the conference finals for the first time in 25 years. And this Philly team has already made history. Remember, we're going to have to take an all-access look to even remember what went down at TD Garden because they completed the first ever 3-1 comeback. Take a look.
Game 7, the Sixers, the Celtics.
9th Game 7 between these two franchises. Nobody's played more, but no Jason Tatum for the Celtics.
Compete, that's the biggest thing. Got to be ready for anything. It's Game 7, it's one game. Ready to go out here and play, man. Leave it all out there. The atmosphere is going to be great. Just enjoy the moment.
Philadelphia looking to come back from a 3-1 deficit.
Gentlemen, we're seeing the desperation of a 7th game. Every possession matters.
Jaylen Brown on a drive, and Embiid blocked it. What a play by Joel.
Two of the league's best talents going at it in Game 7.
Embiid to the left of the lane against Jaylen Brown. Into the lane, jump hook, got it. Oh, yeah, it's on, baby.
Jaylen ducks the shoulder, leans into Paul George, runs it up and in. Scored and the foul, and Jaylen Brown can make this a 1-point game.
Embiid will load it up and knock it down. He says, quiet down in Boston. 2:40 to play in Game 7.
We are in store for a finish, guys, against 2 blue bloods of the NBA.
Back and forth we go. Philly ball up by 1. Paul George goes quick on Derek White. Elevates, blocked by Jaylen Brown.
You can just feel the tension right now on every possession.
Maxey, an incredible field goal. 1:25 to go. Sixers by 3.
Maxey again to the left. Another deuce. Tyrese is taking over. And for the first time in franchise history, the Philadelphia 76ers have come back from 3-1 down. They take out the number 2 seed in the East.
You know, I've always believed in this, guys. Everybody in this locker room locked in, all focused on the same goal.
That's just locking in.
Way to stay together, man. I was a close one, baby. Good job, though. Good job. Everybody who stepped on the floor.
Come on, fellas, one down, only one.
Enjoy this one till midnight. Then we got to shift gears. That's Game 7 of possible 28. Okay, we're getting better and better all the time. Let's just keep improving.
Sixers! 1, 2, 3, Sixers!
We got a long way to go, but, you know, everybody did what they were supposed to do. Coming back down 3-1 feels good to, you know, win and move on. See you in New York.
You can find more episodes of Chasing History on the NBA app, and it certainly feels like Joel Embiid is chasing something. It was a little bit of revenge against the Celtics, came right out and said it. I do not like playing those guys. I remember a couple of years ago, it was 76ers and Knicks in the first round. 76ers went down in 6 games, but obviously they have momentum coming off that Game 7 win. The question is, Melo, How do they maintain it against the Knicks? Everything that we saw from the 76ers last round, what are the things they have to bring into the Garden here tonight?
Well, one thing for sure, they bring in Joel, so Joel is alive. They bring in Maxey. Outside of that, I always say, I said this, my X factor for this series, at least for tonight, is Paul George. Him shooting 55% from three in the last series against Boston, I don't think he's going to shoot 55% from three against the Knicks. At least we hope he don't shoot 55%. But if he comes anywhere near that, then that gives him that three-man punch, that triangle that Philly's always been looking for. And then now Philly becomes a different type of team.
Their defense must travel. More so, I mean, yes, you're going to score, but you're going to have to find a way to stop the 1-2 punch of Brunson and Cat as well, and neutralizing OG. Because even if Brunson is not going, they found something in playing through Cat.
Yeah.
They meeting the Knicks, and I think he's gotten them going in his vision. He's had 2 triple-doubles in the last 3 the last 3 games. So they now have, you know, and the coach even said, we found something, you know, that works, and we want to continue to ride that, and that's something that is important for the good of the Knicks. So Philly's defense is going to have to stop and neutralize this guy and make him guard. And the easiest way to neutralize the Knicks is by getting that guy in foul trouble, getting him on the bench.
Yeah, and I'll add something else. You talk about the pressure, and you know, and a lot of players going to say there's no pressure, but when your owner comes out and say we have to get to the finals, right? That's pressure, you know, especially when you've been knocked out, you know, 22 or 23, 24, 22, 23, 24. That's a lot of pressure coming into this series against a healthy Philadelphia 76ers. So as a player, you're thinking about that. You know this is a pressurized situation, especially understanding and knowing that quote from your owner. Like when your owner says that he bringing pressure from top down.
I just think, you know, when we look at the Eastern Conference in the beginning of the season, you know, no Tyrese Maxey, and no Dame. You know, when you have all the injuries, the East was wide open.
No Halliburton.
We were speaking. No Halliburton. The East, we're talking about it being wide open, and who was those teams that we felt like could get out of the East. I don't think we mentioned 76ers because we just didn't know the health of Joel Embiid, but we did mention Detroit, and we mentioned the New York Knicks could be that team. This is their chance. This is their opportunity. And, you know, when you have a veteran core group that they have, they've been here. They understand, you know, what the task is. But you got Joel Embiid, an MVP, that you're going up against that's extremely motivated. You have some dogs in Maxey and VJ coming in there, and also Paul George has found himself after coming off of that, you know, 25-game hiatus. This is a really confident group that's coming in with a chip, and it's going to be a physical team. They're going to do with this team. They could play many styles because of their roster, right? If they got it going on the perimeter, they could play that way if it's perimeter oriented. But if they're not knocking down their threes, I've always told you guys, they could play below the free throw line because they have that one guy. And it's, for me, the X factor for the Knicks is going to be Mitchell Robinson. Okay. I'm going to tell you why. Cat, to me, I don't think is going to be disciplined enough to guard Joel Embiid for a lot of minutes in this series. So if I'm the Knicks, I'm going big lineup. I'm putting Cat at the 4, getting him off of Embiid, have Mitchell Robinson guard him. And then if Embiid goes out of the game, Mitchell Robinson, you go out of the game, get your rest. And that leaves Cat, right, to be in an advantageous situation on the offensive end, because now you got to put somebody like Paul George on him, right? That has that advantage to be able to play below the free throw line. So for me, it's going to be a chess match, and I want to see how it plays out.
To that point, as far as Philly having somebody that could play below the free throw line, Cat has to play below the free throw line a lot during this series, because you have to put the pressure back on Philadelphia 76ers. You can't just let Joel come down and pick his spots on the court. He's going from the top of the key to mid-post, right block, left block, elbow. you got to limit a lot of those spaces, those areas that Joel wanted to get to on the court.
Well, you brought up a good point because Joel Embiid did play the Knicks twice this season. In one of those games, Cat fouled out, and he had 10 points and 6 rebounds. Now, the Knicks still won that game, but that could be the difference if he gets into foul trouble. The other thing I want you guys to just keep in mind, Joel Embiid hasn't played more than the 76ers, and the second in 3 years after New York beat Philly in 6 games in the first round. That was back in 2024. That's the schedule we have of the games coming your way in round 2 of this season. Meanwhile, the Cousins, they're in the sandbox breaking down the impact of the big fella for Philly.
Thanks, Maria. The Cousins in the sandbox. So we're going to see a play of Joel Embiid in a double screen and roll, getting down to the post where he's dominant, scoring on an easy touch here. You see, double screen, Grimes first, Embiid second. Comes off the screen. Veteran pick-and-roll players understand. They're reading the big man to see what is happening, how he's playing. You see the quick throwback. Joel Embiid gets the touch for an easy finish right here. There's a throwback. Embiid follows the ball. Zero hesitation, draws a foul, and 1. Now we're going to see it here in the sandbox. Same way. Hit play. All right. Embiid's coming down. Double screen. Grimes first. Embiid second. Paul George comes off. We're going to pause it right here. Cuzzo, explain to them, what is the read as a ball handler and the big in this situation with the big up so high?
Well, right here, I think the 76ers, not I think, but I know the 76ers are being very intentional where they want this ball to go, and that is getting that ball inside to Joel Embiid. As you see, they have the double action right here, getting Cater off his body. Now, Cater is guarding Paul George, and now you have a small and Jaylen Brown guarding Joel Embiid in the paint. So what you want to do, because this ball is up top, this is a bad angle to throw this ball in. So Paul George does the smart thing and throws that ball to Quentin Grimes for a better angle of throwing the ball in.
So hit play there. You see Derek White is definitely late for the play because he has a shooter over here in the deep corner, and he has to play halfway. Well, it's way too late. Embiid gets the ball, gets the finish, and 1, and that's what they want. You will continue to see that throughout the playoffs because Embiid is such a dominant force under the free throw line in the paint where he draws fouls. That's the Cousins in the sandbox.
Back to you, Maria.
Nice. Y'all come over here and sit down, okay? Come on, Jay Croucher's in the building again. He's back making his postseason debut with the star player parlay from DraftKings Sportsbook. Who do you have, Jay?
Yeah, first leg tonight, Miriam taking Karl-Anthony Towns, 10+ rebounds. Joel Embiid is obviously incredible, but the Sixers have struggled to rebound with Embiid on the floor this season. They tend to play pretty small around him. Meanwhile, the Knicks, an elite top 5 rebounding team all season. Karl-Anthony Towns finished second in the NBA in rebounding behind Nikola Jokic. I expect him to get 10 or more tonight. Second leg, OG Anunoby, 15+ points. OG has basically been an NBA Jam character these playoffs. He shot 57% from 3 against the Hawks. Had Flames coming off of him. He's established himself as the clear number 3 in this Knicks offense. Third and final leg, Tyrese Maxey, 25+ points. Maxey has this incredible ability to not look tired when everyone else around him looks very tired. And coming off that war in Boston 48 hours ago, not sure how much Joel Embiid has in the tank for this game, but Maxey expect will carry the load. He averaged 30 a game in the regular season against the Knicks. He averaged 30 a game in that playoff series 2 years ago against the Knicks. So I expect him to score 25 or more tonight, Maria.
Jay, is it true that they brought you back out of hibernation because Melo did not hit any star player parlays so far this postseason? Who is this? Is that why they did it, Jay? Tell the truth.
I didn't know about that. Didn't know Melo didn't hit the mark while I was gone, but it's a team effort, so we'll get us back on track.
Okay, thank you so much. We appreciate it, Jay. Literally, he was like, just give me the mic, guys. Just give it back over here. We'll see if Jay's able to hit his parlay. Begin their series, but first, tonight it's game 1 of the Spurs and the Timberwolves. Minnesota is looking for a 3rd straight trip to the conference finals. And earlier today, Jaden McDaniels spoke with Jordan Cornette at Morning Shoot-Around.
Jaden, you're arguably the best player in that first-round matchup. What do you take from your performance in that series and apply into this one?
Just continue to be aggressive and give what the defense gives me, and then just staying confident whatever I do. And then just always keeping that defensive presence around, like just making sure I'm aggressive and relentless on defense.
You guys were underdogs in the first round. It's no different as you enter tonight, even bigger underdogs. How does that narrative sit with you?
It's whatever. We try not to look at it. Like, we always know that we're going to be the underdog. We've been the underdog the last 2-3 years, and we always end up coming out on top, proving people wrong. So that's what we love to do.
For you guys to come out on top tonight, what's it going to take?
Really just being together, connectivity, and I know it's our first game, so mistakes might happen through the scout. It's just not let it happen 2 times and then just sticking with each other through their runs.
Lastly, you guys have dealt with a ton of injury, ton of challenges, and yet you guys always end up on top, as you said, resilient bunch. What do you attribute that to?
Really just the work we always put in. Every player's working, even if they don't play in the games, like TJ, Jalen Clark, Nas, everyone's always working. So they're just a hard-working team, and just everyone's ready for their moment.
Jaden, best of luck tonight.
Sir, thank you.
I'll tell you about somebody ready for the moment. It's Jaden McDaniels. He's been at a playoff career high, 32 points in the closeout Game 6 against the Nuggets. He's been saying it with his chest and showing out on the court. Let's get into the Timberwolves first, because obviously they were down major players. Dante DiVincenzo was out. Ayo was out in Game 6, and obviously Anthony Edwards. They still get the win. Let's enter Ant back into the fold and what that could mean for Game 1 against the Spurs.
Well, Ant has averaged 30 against the Spurs in the regular season, and obviously, you know, hopefully he is healthy and being able to be him. If he's not him, then I don't see why he's playing. So I suspect that Ant is going to be him and healthy and feeling good. But for me, this is a really good matchup for Minnesota. I just want to see how Bear on the defensive end, because this is a different dynamic that he's going to be guarding on the perimeter now. We're talking about Wemby, right? So if Rudy's going to be sitting in the paint, you got a guy that can shoot the 3 to extend him out, and I don't think that's good having him out there, because Wemby could take him off the dribble. It's going to come down to how deep they're going to go with their bench. You know, what type of activity they're going to get from Ayo is out, right? He's not playing, so who is going to fill those shoes? I look at the point guard situation. Can Conley, can he play a significant amount of minutes to get everybody in position of where they're supposed to be, organize things? Because if you get out and try to run with this team, you're going to get blown out. And I think it's wise for them to kind of slow the pace down a little bit, get great shots, and utilize, you know, their perimeter guys to get downhill, kick out to their three-pointers. They need to knock down threes in this series.
Sure. For me, it's if Ant comes back, what you want, will your other guys remain aggressive? Because they understood they had to step up their offensive output to get past Denver to be successful. You now don't want those guys to take a step back because Ant is there. We've seen that over history. Star player or a starter comes back, guys kind of take a step back in their aggressiveness. I hope that you continue to see these guys offensively, like a Jaden McDaniels, remain aggressive, remain and knock shots. Another thing, they're going to have to, they're averaging like 12 offensive rebounds a game. They want to continue to hit the offensive glass, because I think for them, they need more possessions to have an opportunity to beat this Spurs team.
For me, San Antonio, when you talk about Wemby, like everybody's talking about Wemby, as they should, but it's the guards, San Antonio guards. You talk about Darren Fox, who is the head of that snake over there in San Antonio. He just got his first playoff series win in, I think, 9 seasons or something like that. So when you talk about their guard play, can Minnesota match their guard play? All of the riffing and the talking that y'all did against Denver in the first series, will that be efficient and effective against San Antonio, where Wemby don't care about the noise? They don't care about the noise. They taking on challenges. They want to guard. They want to talk. They want to be together, and they want to win. So that, to me, the guard play in this series is something to look at.
Well, let's take a deeper dive into the guard play. I know you and Eddie been cooking something up. So
let's do that. I'm glad you said that.
I know.
Set that up.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, but that's what I want to talk about. You know, Darren Fox, his ability to see matchups. He's another guy. If all the attention is on Wemby, they switch. He sees guys. I mean, it doesn't matter who's in front of him, but his ability to change speed and just leave him in the W won't be going. It's crazy. But they're going to search for those matchups. Here's another guy, Dylan Harper, who has been playing with great confidence. He's a great he's great in transition. You see here, he sees an opportunity. He has attack man mentality. And then Stephon Castle, he's going to possibly see a Rudy Gobert guarding him just like this. He has to be willing to take this shot with confidence, because if he does not, that is an opportunity of keeping Gobert off the floor. I think this team, but these guards can play Rudy Gobert off of the court, because if he's not guarding Wemby, then who? And if they're going to put him on Stephon Castle, he has to take advantage of him in transition, and he has to shoot the three-point shot when it's available.
I really like this matchup because of the length and the size of Minnesota. You're talking about Jaden Daniel, who's 6'10", Naj Reid, who's 6'10". Like, they have a lot of length on the perimeter to where, you know, they could get beat, but they could also recover and you know, meet those guys at the rim. So I look forward to a bunch of, you know, different matchups and mismatches. But it's going to come down to really keeping these guys from having these runs to where they're going on the 12-0, 15-0 runs, and that's when you get in trouble.
Yeah. Hey, listen, if you're looking at the regular season, though, Minnesota was actually just one of the 3 teams to have a winning record against San Antonio, so that length probably paying off a little bit as we saw it throughout the second round of the playoffs. Later tonight, you're going to see the Timberwolves and Spurs with the return of the Fiesta theme in San Antonio, and it looks good. But first, from Madison Square Garden, it'll be the Knicks hosting the 76ers, and earlier tonight, Philadelphia's all-star Tyrese Maxey chatted with Ashley Shamadi.
All right, Tyrese, the Sixers story is not over. What is it about this group that has gotten you guys this far?
Yeah, this group is resilient. This group really likes each other. We're some fighters, and we just want to keep playing.
You have had some battles with this Knicks team over the years. I'm sure you're on the top of their scouting report, but who's on the top of yours when it comes to just matching up with this group?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you know, they have the head of the snake for them is Jalen Brunson. Carlton Towns doing a good job. They kind of playing through him. So we got to watch all of them, man. They do a really good job of just playing together, and they're very connective. And, you know, it's going to be a great battle for us.
When you talk about hostile environments, I'm sure MSG is on the top of that list. So how do you just try and shut out the noise, especially during a playoff game here? Yeah,
it's definitely going to be loud and rowdy, but that's what makes it fun. That's the playoffs, man. And they have really good fans, and our fans are really good as well, so it'll be fun.
You know a thing or two about scoring in multiple ways, a variety of ways. So for defending a guy like Jalen Brunson who can do the same, what are some of the keys to that? Yeah, the biggest thing that we have to do is make it tough on him. Make it extremely tough on him, make it difficult, show him different looks, can't show him the same coverages, and, hey, do our best, man. At the end of the day, like, he's a great player. Him, Carney Towns, you know, Joel, all those are great players, so they're going to make shots. As long as you try to make it tough on them and make it difficult. We always appreciate your time, Tyrese. Thanks so much. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Good luck. Thank you.
Tyrese Maxey came in his schoolboy Q outfit, said he about to school the Knicks tonight. That's what he said. That's what he said, okay? Let's get into the action with Peacock Scorecard. It's like fantasy sports meets bingo. You pick your card and follow along on the Peacock app. Okay, for tonight's Meaningful Moments brought to you by AT&T, plenty of rivalry storylines between the Knicks and the 76ers, particularly in the front court, so we wanted to run it back. 6.5 years ago, that's Cat with Minnesota going up against Joel. Y'all remember this?
Yes, sir.
Both players suspended for a couple of games for fighting on the court.
It's static.
Yeah, it was rough. They did clear up the beef. It took about 4 years, but they got it cleaned up.
Let's get it.
But this was a moment.
Oh, this is definitely.
Why he got him in the Dolphin like that? Why he got him?
Who that choking Cat, man?
Look at Joel smiling.
Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons choking, man. Hey, my goodness.
Okay, so this is 2 years ago. The last time these two teams met in the playoffs is going to be Joel Embiid and Mitchell Robinson this time.
Woo! Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that?
I remember that. Yeah, that hurt. That hurt.
Yeah.
That's what, you know, that we were salty. As a fan, you were salty.
Joel did get a flagrant 1 for that one.
That's not cool.
Yeah,
that's not cool right there.
Not that one.
Nah.
And Mitchell was playing well.
He was. He eventually had to get surgery on that ankle. He missed a large chunk of last season with it. Joel ended up to drop 50 in that game.
Definitely Mitch looking forward to this matchup as well. My X Factor.
And you guys already said that's who you wanted out there playing against him.
My X Factor.
Yeah. We just wanted to show you guys that the static exists. And Melo, you already speak to it a lot. Just when these two teams meet, the rivalry is already there. Like, we don't even have to bring it up, right?
You're watching.
I'm watching, my bad. I'm sorry.
He's ready to play.
I am ready to play. But no, the history is there. It's no fluke. You know, we've seen it. We saw those highlights. We saw the couple scuffles. We see the dirty play, you know, on Mitchell Robinson. And now you get an opportunity to come back, get healthy. Now this matchup is what you wanted. This matchup is what the Knicks wanted. This matchup is what Cat wanted and Mitchell Robinson wanted. And I'm sure Jalen Brunson want this matchup too. So I always, you know, I said it earlier that PG is the X factor in this series. So there's a couple things to look forward to. You have Cat versus Joel. You have Mitchell Robinson versus Joel. You also have Mike Brown versus Nick Nurse too, right? Who's going to make the moves when those moves need to be made, right? When it's Game 4, and we know what each other's going to do. Who's going to make the right move to make us better and get that win and win this series?
Question for y'all, and this is pertaining to something that was said after they beat the Boston Celtics. Do you think this would have any impact on this series, what Jaylen Brown said about Joel Embiid with the flopping? You think the NBA or the referees would take heed to any of that?
Absolutely, because
they're in New York, so they'll be there to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they paid attention to that. They was probably watching, the Boston series with the Sixers. So it's going to be a lot of, eyes on that type of play.
Can I ask you, I want you guys to focus in. I want us to really hone in on the stars here.
Yes.
You're Tyrese Maxey.
Yes.
You're coming into the Garden. Last time you faced these guys, you lost in 6 games, but he was averaging about 29 points per game, so he balled out. But the focus has to be what? Like, what is Tyrese telling himself when he's going into the locker room? How does he have to perform?
You are that guy.
Yeah.
You don't take a backseat to Joel.
Okay.
You're doing it as a tandem, 1A and 1B, but you go out there and you lead your team as if Joel is not there, because all year he was that guy.
Yeah.
And they've coexisted. The one game, Joel's first game, I thought that's when he was hesitant, and we didn't see the best version of Tyrese Maxey.
But it's funny you say that, because remember we interviewed PG after Game 6, and he said he went in the locker room,
Yeah.
he looked at Tyrese, and he said, you can't just shoot. Was it 9 shots or something like that? He's like, that can't be
3
you.
in the first half.
Yeah, we need you to shoot more. We need you to really be hunting your shots. And so, but he changed that in Game 7.
Yeah, well, he's not going up against, Peyton Pritchard in this series, not to disrespect Peyton Pritchard or Derek White. This is Jalen Brunson, right? This is a different beast.
Yeah.
So that challenge presents, that matchup presents a different challenge. And I'm sure he's ready for that. He understands what his assignment is. I see the advantage on the offensive end with him because of his quickness, his speed. And then defensively, they have guys that they could put on Brunson. I'm not necessarily how they're going to match up. This first game might be one of those games where you feel things out and then you start making adjustments as you go. So I want to see how they match up with Brunson in this game 1.
Can I ask you guys a question? Who are the real Knicks? Is it the Knicks we saw that beat the Hawks by 51?
We're going to find out.
Or the Knicks that lost 2 straight by 1 point to the Hawks? Like, what do we believe in more based on what we've seen so far this postseason?
So that's been a question, too, the inconsistencies of the New York Knicks. We've seen them against Atlanta give away games and just fold at the end of games. But we also saw them against Atlanta where they came in locked and ready, put together a 48-minute game, and they got Atlanta out the gym.
Right.
So I don't know who's going to show up today, right? I know Jalen Brunson has to show up. I know Cat has to show up. I know Maxey has to show up. I know Joel has to show up. And also, Mikal has to show up. There's no more, we can't have 2-3 games where he's just in his own mind and trying to figure it out. Mikal have to come to play this series because Philly got dogs over there, and they're going to challenge Mikal over there.
And say this, it's not just Mikal showing up to be, impactful offensively. Like, we want you to be impactful on the defense end. If you're not making your shots, you have the skill set, you have the ability to impact the game in other areas. So we're fine with you not making shots, but just impact the game in other areas.
There's 2 things I love about this series and what we're going to see. After the Sixers beat the Celtics, Joel came over there, dapped everybody up. He came to you and said, what? I'll see you at the Garden. And I love that. Now, I read a quick blurt from Cat. And in the interview, he said, hey, y'all don't sell your tickets. Y'all need to come there to be there. And I love it. He's telling the fans, you need to come see this.
VC, it's static. It's static.
I love it.
There's nothing but love between New York and Philly, but right now, between this little rectangle, it goes down tonight.
You're a basketball fan. This is it. Basketball fan.
Yes.
This matchup is what you want.
Get closer to the camera so you can tell them. Yeah, get a little bit closer to the camera. I don't think they can see you.
NBC family. You are a basketball fan, right? NBA playoffs are back. The second round is about to start. We're talking about the New York Knicks and the Philadelphia 76ers. And where we at? We're going to be in the Garden, baby.